Hi everybody, welcome to Mom Piece number 5. We ready to get started? Everybody ready? We thrilled and excited. We hyped for the drum.
I was thrilled and excited till you sent me those clips and crushed my soul.
Yeah, for reference, I just made her watch the clip of Dr. Hiroluke's death speech and of his will being acted and the cherry blossom snowflakes at the end of Drum Island, and immediately made you cry before we started today.
I'm not recovered. Now my mind is like, I think that was mean.
You think it was mean to make you watch beautiful art?
I love how you keep saying it was beautiful art as a way of covering up for the fact that you crushed my spirit. You want me to do an overall thought of Drum Island?
Yeah, let's start with a tone. What did we think of this arc? How did it... Wait, no, we're starting with something important. Your first predictions come true, which was the prediction of what we're going to have as our next crewmate, which was a doctor. And that's what we got. We got Tony Chopper the doctor.
Are you going to put a thing on, like a little counter that's like, prediction?
I guess now I have to. Future me just figured out what everybody's gonna see for you getting your amazing prediction correct. Your first accurate prediction has come true.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm so happy about that. I mean, predicting something correctly, whatever, but getting to have a prediction counter, I'm here for that.
You know what? There's a prediction counter. There's also gonna be a wrong prediction counter. If anything's disproven, I'm gonna give you a star when you get a prediction right, and I'm gonna give like I don't know why the first thing I thought of is a purple mushroom when something's confirmed wrong, but a purple mushroom is what you get when you get something wrong.
Whoa, you are mean. Joke's on you. I love purple and mushrooms.
You'll get a platinum star if a really wild one ends up being true.
Platinum is just silver. I just feel like it just feels like second
like
place.
A special silver.
No one's going to be able to tell the difference.
All right, fine. You get a diamond star if one of your crazy predictions is true.
And who determines if it's a crazy prediction? You or
Me.
chat? Because will be nicer.
Chat's going to be handing out diamond stars left and right. Chat, you don't get to decide what's a diamond star. I'm sorry, you're biased in her favor. Now that we've talked about your first gold star, what are your thoughts, overall thoughts for Drum Island?
Everything in this was so emotional, but we did meet one of the greatest, goodest boys ever.
Is that our boy Anthony Helicopter?
Tony Chopper! The greatest boy!
Here's how everybody in the Discord in the One Piece spoiler section knew you were going to love Chopper, because you love every Straw Hat, you love every animal in One Piece, and this is an animal in One Piece who is a Straw Hat pirate.
Oh, he's the best already. All the other pirates are like, I wish I could be as cool as Tony. They tried to eat him.
I mean, he's a reindeer, venison.
No, don't even on that. Don't even. Call him my great good boy, Tony Chopper, venison.
Tony Chopper has 2 roles on the ship, doctor and emergency rations.
Okay, so the thing I noticed, because I went back a little bit further trying to figure out where the heck I was supposed to read from, since sometimes I go ahead a little bit.
Yeah.
And
sometimes.
The giant...
Every single time so far.
I don't know why I have to be such a hater. And... and the giants say a very, very weird thing.
Okay.
So they're standing there and they're about to put a hole through the fish, but they say the only thing we can't pierce is a snake soaked in blood.
Which truly, no idea what that means.
Yeah, I know you don't, which I love, because I love it when you're not just trying to move me off something because you just don't know. And I sat there staring for that for a while. Yeah, so I've gone through. I don't have enough information because I haven't gone forward enough. So that's going in the things that make me go, what? And I'll come back to that later on. So we're putting a pin in the only thing we can't pierce is a snake soaked in blood. But I don't want to forget that because we're coming back with it. Okay, let's go into the piece now. Right away, when I was reading this one, you and I have a disagreement on whether or not you think, but I think you're also just trying to lead me astray is what I think is going on here. You're to say. So this one is about Nami. She's sick. She comes out onto deck and pulls herself out from near death, and she can feel that the wind has shifted. There's a big wind coming up ahead. She can just, I think. She's wheezing, she's hot with 104-degree temperature, and she just feels it and tells him to steer around. And then a couple of frames forward, you have Vivi standing there, and she's holding Nami up, and they're looking at the giant typhoon, or cyclone, sorry. And Vivi says, it's amazing. They say cyclones on the Grand Line happen without warning. And yet, this girl doesn't just use the wind and sky to predict the weather. It's as though she feels it in her bones. I've never seen a seafarer like her.
So my thinking there was just to hype up Nami as an amazing navigator, that she has a great sense for the weather. She's so in tune with like the pressure fronts around her that she can kind of like feel the weather and predict it from her mix of knowledge and intuition. And you're thinking she has some sort of power or ability facilitating that.
Yeah, she absolutely does. I'm going full, this pedal is up on that. And Nami has some sort of power that allows her to feel weather, almost like she is in touch with weather. It's a part of who she is. It flows through her.
I'm going to say, if Nami has the psychic power to predict the weather, I will absolutely award you a diamond star for that prediction. That is a diamond star level prediction.
Well, now you know what you've done is you've put something in here. So now we can go back and look at whether or not you're using diamonds in the proper power level.
We have a scaling system. Look, I already have an idea of which of your theories are worth a diamond star if they come true.
Somebody is standing in the water, and it turns out to be the chess dude, Checkmate, or whatever the hell his name. Ugh, I don't like him. Makes me feel unhappy.
Is that one of Wapol's dudes?
Yeah. Standing in the water with his black and whiteness and his weird little face. Just standing in the middle of the ocean like, yo, what's up, guys? Were you in the middle of the ocean? Here I am. Look at me. They rub their eyes. They look out again. They all stare at each other, and he goes, boy, sure is cold today. As a comedy moment, though, you got to say standing in the middle of the ocean and saying that. Kind of glorious. And then, boom, he's thrown way up into the air when the big boy ship increases buoyancy and flies right up. And we meet a person that I hate. I hate him so much.
So you're not a fan of Wapol, wielder of the Munch Munch fruit?
I hate this man so much. I just hate him so much. There's no words. And I hate his fruit. I already want to put out there, whose fruit did I hate so much that they were off to the side? Wax Wax. I used to hate, because I now know about his Munch Munch fruit, Wax Wax gets to make it near the board so that it can make room for Munch Munch being way off to the side and nobody getting to look at it, so it doesn't have to
Unironically, feelings of Wapol aside, I love the Munch Munch fruit.
Hey, I know you said that, and I hate it so much.
It's so cool. You can combine any two things.
I do like the way that we meet Wapol when he's munching away on a piece of fruit on a knife, and he uses it as a show-off moment where he just starts eating the knife. That's great, because it tells me exactly what I need to know about him. I hate him, because that's such a show-offy moment thing to do, to be like, oh, do you think I'm normal? Look at me. I'm eating a knife. Good for you. No one cares. Eat your stupid knife. I don't know if you can tell.
Something tells me you're not a big Wapol fan.
I'm not a fan. You know what? You know who could be best friends, though? Wapol and Pearl could be best friends. They could hold hands and braid each other's hair and talk about what it's like to suck so much.
God, it is so hard to not... This episode is going to be harder than most. I'm looking forward to all the things we're going to talk about. It's going to be harder than most to keep that not a spoiler counter from going up. There's a lot of cheeky shit that I want to say, and I'm going to hold back.
Okay, good for you. Good for you. Well, you're trying to lead me astray.
Manga readers, I think, will know why it's so fucking difficult this time to not say cheeky bullshit, but I'm gonna not do it. I'm gonna not do it.
Does Wapol combine himself with somebody else and become best friends and braid his hair?
Look, I'm not telling you nothing.
All right, well, now I wonder, because you said that thing. All right, let's move forward.
Let me tell you, it is not a clue. You're gonna get no info reading into that. You can try. It's a bad idea. It's a waste of time.
I'm not gonna listen to you. You always say I'm wasting your time.
You're wasting your time.
Or wasting my time.
Yeah.
I loved Luffy's attack where he intentionally sticks his hands inside of Wapol's mouth. But it was a little bit confusing because in one moment he has his hands inside Wapol's, I'm going to say it's his feet, even though it doesn't show it very well. And that's why he was able to reach his hands back. But what a great good moment when he springs Wapol off into space. Okay, then we got the doom moment when the two of Captain Wapol's men are saying, remember us. This is terrible. The captain has been hurled into space. We have to rescue him before he sinks and drowns. Remember us. We'll get you for this. Just wait. Remember us. Great moment.
I feel like these guys had a wicked amount of confidence considering that Luffy just one-shot their captain.
It did feel a little bit ridiculous. So they find the island. We get to the drums, all the little drums sticking up at the top. And you think to yourself, what a lovely, peaceful land. I wonder what interesting things will be here. And then immediately they get shot at. Here we are. Get away or we'll shoot you. You won't. Boom. Oh, you did. You did that. You just shot us immediately. That's a fantastic way to bring friendships together.
It's a good start to a beautiful friendship. Being shot.
I can't wait until we hang out with Blackbeard.
Yeah, you have some thoughts about Blackbeard already, being told that he just recently attacked this island?
Because,
what's up?
I just had just having a brain moment. Like, how is Blackbeard attached to Luffy if Ace is searching for Blackbeard and Luffy equally?
Is Ace? Yeah, Ace is looking for both. Weird that. Thinking ahead now.
Yeah, no, we're going to come back to that. You move ahead all you want. I'm going to put a pin in that, and that's going to be a closer pin than the last one.
Should it be called the pin? I feel like it shouldn't be called the corner. Should they all be corners? Should it be the bookmark corner, the pin corner, pin board, pin cushion? What are we calling that one?
The treasure chest. I'm going to put it into the treasure chest.
All right. It's in the treasure chest.
And those are just little bits of treasure that I pull out and I look over them and I'm like, gosh, this is so shiny. And then one day I'm like, and then I know where it fits. I'm going to get a treasure chest. I have one. I'm putting it in it. In fact, I'm looking at it right now. So we get shot at. We're talking as if we're going to be best friends, but we're shot at immediately. And they tell them, raise your anchor and get the living hell out of here. They manage to convince them that their navigator is very, very sick. But this is the very beginning of the piece that I thought was pretty cool. Because immediately Vivi is like, Luffy, you're a crap leader. And she just lays it right out on the line. You're trying to do everything with strength. You're trying to do everything. She doesn't even sugarcoat it. I found the page. Luffy, you're a failure as a captain. You know what, Vivi? Don't hold back. Your impulsiveness doesn't solve anything. If you get us all killed, what will happen to Nami? And then she immediately supplicates herself and bows her head and says, please call a doctor and please help our friend. And then Luffy follows suit, which is he may be behaving like a crap captain, but he learned quickly. He was a good learner. And it was in that moment that you find that happens. I think it's book ends this piece. In the beginning and the end, people supplicate themselves as a way of being good leaders. And I love the idea that they put in here that true leadership doesn't come from overpowering. It doesn't come from bravado. It comes from knowing what the right thing to do in the right time is. And sometimes that means lowering yourself and showing honor by asking for the help you need. And I thought that was pretty good.
One Piece tends to get an unfair bit of flack for people saying it doesn't do good character development. And I think what One Piece doesn't do is it doesn't often explain that character development has happened. I don't think One Piece really ever that I can think of stops and tells you how a person has changed. It's up for you, the reader, to find those moments of change by looking at someone's actions. And I think, Luffy learning how to be a better leader is part of his character arc. This is one of the biggest moments of it where he learns the types of things he needs to do to be a good leader for his crew and to protect them. You've highlighted that learning to supplicate himself is a moment of growth for Luffy here.
Oh, it's a massive moment. I think that it was really intelligent to put Vivi's character in because she's been trained to be a leader her entire life. She's beyond a boon for Luffy because Luffy has only recently decided he's going to be king of the pirates. Recently and acted on it. Yeah, and started his quest. But he hasn't been trained in leadership and he doesn't know what it's like yet to always be doing the best for the people who are under your command. And so having somebody like Vivi, who's been trained as royalty, could not be a bigger boon. This is a fast lesson. And then to get these opportunities to be in places where he's pushed to these limits and can learn from her. And then Oda does make it so that he actually listens, hears, and changes. And I think all of those things are really dynamic and make it an interesting plot. Okay, the Snow Village Bighorn. I love this village so much. They all have little hats for houses. Excellent. You see the wife there, who people also bow to. Dalton, I heard there were pirates here. Are you all right? I just want to high five Captain Dalton. Is he cool? Yes.
Uh-huh.
Is he suave? Yes.
Is he a bison?
Is he also? Is he a bison? Yes. Do I love animals? You betcha.
So a man who can turn into bison does get credit for being an animal.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. He is 30% cooler than your average man who can't turn into a bison. The journey, weird. Putting Nami on the back, but I loved that because when it first started to happen, they're having all the arguments about whether they're going to take Nami to this million-year-old witch that they all have these interesting pictures in their mind of. And then they're talking for her. And then Nami wakes up as he goes to her and asks her opinion. She's awake. Listen, the only doctor around lives on top of the mountain, so we're going to climb it. And everyone's like, that's ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. And they have all these arguments. And Nami gets to wake up enough that we see in one of the frames that she's actually seeing everything that's being said and hearing it. And all of a sudden she says, I have to get better right away. I'm counting on you. And then Luffy goes over and goes, atta girl, Nami. Leave everything to me. And so it feels like Nami got to have agency, which was so important when you're talking about a human who had their agency taken away from them. And we haven't had that many adventures. And so it was really great that they took that moment. So then we get Blackbeard. There were only 5 pirates. The captain called himself Blackbeard. They were immensely powerful. We never had a chance. They defeated us before we knew what had hit us. 5 pirates, you must be kidding. Blackbeard?
Only 5 pirates? What does that remind you of?
Yeah, you know what it reminds me of.
What does it remind you of? That's weird.
It reminds me of the 5 people that I was talking about, the 5 different animals.
Oh, well, I was thinking of something different, which is another pirate crew with only 5 pirates currently.
Oh, you're talking about our own people.
The Straw Hats are 5 pirates as of the East Blue before Chopper.
Yeah,
so it's
so it's kind of like a dark version of what's taking place with the
when I read there was only 5 pirates, that's what came to mind for me. I was like, we only have 5 pirates.
Okay, so we go up into the mountain. They're climbing. Nami's on the back. We see a cute little bunny, just like the little bunnies that Japanese children will make in the snow. And then we're like, what a cute little bunny. And then, killer bunny! Out comes giant bunny. Was really torn here because it's a beautiful little giant bunny. But I also understand why, if you are the good people running up the hill, you wouldn't want to be attacked by them. That little bunny, though, was able to eat a tree in half. So let me just tell you, those are some crazy ass bunnies, because I thought those were going to be the baddest bunnies, and then they were the small version. I didn't really understand the need for the avalanche. I wasn't that hyped up on the avalanche, except for I did understand that it shows the growth of his listening to people and learning lessons from them, because Sanji is telling him, if you do this, she'll die. If you do that, she'll die. And normally I think that Luffy is the type of character who had been really rash in the past and wouldn't listen to people. Like you saw when they were like, don't just get off the boat. And he's like, I gotta go. And he didn't take a moment to pause and consider what they were saying. And they really did show that huge character growth with him listening to Sanji and being like, yeah, okay, I'm being an ass. I have to tone it down here, which is a really cool thing to get to see again. So in the last arc, I think we really saw a lot of growth in Usopp. And in this one, I'm thinking we're really getting to see a lot of growth in Luffy. And I think that doing it in the cold, there's this thing with geisha. When geisha were being trained before they became full geisha, they would do what was called lessons in the cold. And they would take their learning outside to do it in the cold, because there was this idea that being able to do it in the cold made it so much more difficult that if you were able to do it there, you could do it even better when you were in the right circumstances. Okay. And so I kind of love this idea of Luffy almost having like lessons in leadership in the cold and becoming this person that he has to eventually be, learning in this cold environment, because it's almost like under this type of duress. And then when you're in a warmer, normal climate, let's see how those stick. So it was kind of a neat little parallel for me.
That's kind of cool.
It is Tony Chopper time. I just got to tell you, yeah, no, everyone's right. delay all the guessworks. Number one this week is going to be Tony Chopper.
Oh, damn. Skip into the closing segment. Number one character of the week, Tony Chopper. Anthony Helicopter gets the number one seed.
He's just everything that is right and wonderful with this world. And to think that when he gets his ability and he eats the human fruit and he becomes a human, he uses those human capabilities for healing. Chef's kiss. That kid is awesome. And you and I had a bit of a thing about this when I called you.
Mm-hmm.
I was really disturbed why everyone keeps calling him a monster. Like, we've seen true monsters. Thing that freaks everyone out is the world's cutest reindeer with a little blue nose that can speak.
Well, to be fair, his nose is blue. You see this 3-foot tall toddler reindeer in a top hat, and you just think this is a monster.
Oh, I wish I hadn't laughed so hard in that moment. You're going to have to delete it out. It was so loud, it's going to blow out a speaker.
It was so loud that Discord no longer recognized it as human, and it didn't show up basically at all.
That's awesome. I want to move forward. Luffy gets to the top, but don't forget the moment, because you had forgotten it, that Luffy actually rescues one of the larger rabbits out of the snow when he got stuck in the avalanche, which is why afterwards, when they come after Luffy on the hill, when Wapol the worst comes out onto the hill and is attacking them, the rabbits help him. And then what does Wapol do to the rabbits? Myrtleates them.
Yeah, beats them the fuck up, tries to kill them.
Myrtleates the living crap out of them.
Yeah. So I want to do my meme of why do you hate him, but it's pretty awful. I want to keep the joke going, but I can't be like, oh, they're so good of him when he's just beating up rabbits.
No. I'm not in there.
Hard to play devil's advocate in that moment, TBH.
But it did do one very important thing. I can't believe I have to say this, that it was an important thing, because you know that I hate Wapol. But as far as in the story goes, it really helped us to understand Wapol's strength. We know how strong the rabbits are. We've already seen the strength level of the rabbits. We know that Wapol and his 2 henchmen beat him, which also then lets us know how much stronger Luffy is when Luffy finally beats Wapol.
Someone in chat saying that Wapol didn't murder any of the rabbits. He just sent them to hang out with their good friends Otter and Vulture.
You tell that person that I appreciate them. Okay, the character of the witch, we've gone into a lot, but I love the idea. There are only 2 ways a patient ever leaves my care. Fully recovered or dead. Stunning. Chopper's backstory was awful. I don't know, Oda. I don't know if Oda and I are going to get along until I'm finished the next arc, because that was a laboon moment, but hyped up. That was don't
worry. There won't be any sadder backstories for a while.
Are you?
It'll be a bit.
You're a brat.
It'll be a little bit till there's anything sadder than Chopper's backstory. There's something particularly brutal about someone's final words being thanking someone for the role they've played in their life, and I think Oda does it so brilliantly. It
was more, because first they show that he accidentally ate this fruit. He didn't know what he was getting into. He was living a normal life. He had a community. He had love. And then, boom, he eats this fruit. The community that he was used to suddenly sees him as something entirely other. And once he's other, he becomes a monster. And then he figures, well, I guess I'm a human now, and walks off into the human area. And then he gets there and they call him a monster. And everyone's calling my great good buddy Chopper a monster. And he has nowhere that he belongs, which is just this crushing piece, because everybody feels what it feels like to be so alone. And then he finds somebody who leads him and sees into his heart and who he really, really is, and loves him, and then eventually calls him his son. I'm gonna, you're the worst. How dare you show me that video? It's just so bad.
One of the things I think is most beautiful in the backstory is, especially in the manga, in the anime, they actually make some changes, and oddly enough, make Dr. Hirolug less terrible of a person to the villagers. And I think it weakens it for me, Because for
Okay.
me, what's great about Dr. Hiroluke's story is that he is a man who wants nothing more than to help people. He wants nothing more than to make the world a better place, and he's absolute shit at it. He's
Yes.
so terrible at making the world better, but it's all he wants is to be a good person. And raising Chopper and seeing his adopted son become a good person who wants to help people. First of all, he's actually helped someone, but there's this feeling to him that he's like, oh, I finally made the world a better place because you exist, Chopper. Because you are
Yes.
here. I've succeeded in my goal of making the world
Yes.
better.
Yes.
That's beautiful to me.
Yeah. And I think that the moment in the little clip you sent me where he screams out, I have lived a good life. Thank you, Chopper. Okay, I'm crying again.
Yeah, me too. Don't worry.
I have tears rolling. Get it together. You got this. And then Chopper is standing there crying, you didn't kill me. And I just, in that moment, to think that your life was fulfilled because you know that you've passed on the best parts of yourself in someone that you have faith is even better than you. Oh,
Knowing this scene is coming is why I was a little skeptical when you were talking about the importance of inherited will in Dragon's speech, and you were talking about, so this means something has to be inherited through a family, and wanted to go back to that right now just to point out that I think a major theme of One Piece is that what you inherit from the people who inspire you is more important than what you inherit from your family.
yeah. And I would say that you're right. Absolutely. I just think that there's going to be a family connection piece, but you're absolutely right that One Piece does a great job of it's the connections you make, it's the family you make as well. And they're just as important, if not more sometimes. And I think that they point that out in the crew because the crew is becoming family. Like we're not there yet.
But it's getting there. They're becoming a found family.
It is getting there. I wanted to do the subscribe thing because you went and kept the 1, 2, 3 in last time.
I promise to not unless it's really cute and endearing.
Like a cheeky jerk. Okay, are you ready?
We're ready. I'm ready. Chat, Chat, are you ready? Are you ready for the subscribe plug, chat? It's so important that you're ready. Okay.
If you're enjoying this, why don't you hit the subscribe button, give it a like so that other people can find it later on. Share it with a friend. I don't know, put it on all the socials, maybe hire a skywriter, start a podcast about it, stick it in the newspaper, you know, the regular things. Get the information out there. We totally appreciate it.
This is a very normal amount to ask of people. I've got tragic news for you. We're not. Oh wait. No. We got to do the fight first, then the tragic news. Forgot the fight. I keep forgetting because it's Wapol.
And because you just want him to lose so badly because you hate him?
Yeah, just okay. So Wapol shows back up and he's like, I don't know, I'm angry. I want to be king again. I'm done being a pirate. I'm here to fuck everything up and be a memorable villain.
Are you saying this because Wapol's the worst?
Look, he's not the best.
He's the worst. Shine Wapol. Shine. You know what was really cool about the fight? I thought it was really kind of amazing when Wapol eats his 2 main men. After they come out, all of their font on the page is done in almost like a shadow.
Mm-hmm.
So it almost looks like there's people speaking within it at once, which I thought was a really cool way to do it.
I don't know how easy it is to access scans of the original Japanese so we can compare, because obviously these are interpreted fonts. So I'm very curious how similar they are to what it was written in Japanese.
Yeah, I am too now.
Kaito is pointing out we have now reached the part where the scene you chose to draw this week is.
Okay. Ugh. Okay, that scene was stunning. So the fight was okay for me.
It wasn't. Okay.
Yeah. If we're gonna be honest, like I think some of the fights we've had before far outweigh this fight.
Yeah, there are bigger bad guys who are with more fun choreography than Wapol.
Yeah, I would think so. Although the moment that he eats them and turns 2 into 1 was pretty cool.
Yeah, fusing his meats together is cool.
And I like when he eats himself. I mean,
which is wild, but you know what? You do you, man.
Yeah, that's another one of those when you say it out loud, you can't believe you just say I like it when he eats himself. the very coolest moment, because we talked early when the bird takes Luffy and flies him away, and then Zoro chooses to go after Luffy. When Luffy decides that Nami is going to be his person, and they have a quick thing because they both go after the same item and help each other out. And in the fight, they're bonded together. Every single time Luffy gets a new crewmate, there's kind of this beginning moment that does a fast click between the two of them and then between all of them. And this was the fast click. And that's one of the reasons that I just love this, because Luffy is stunning at reading the needs of people. And don't call Chopper a not people.
No, Chopper's a people. Come on, I'm not. What do you think? You think I'm a monster? I'm not Chopper.
How dare you disappoint?
Come on, Chad, hit me up. That one was good. That one was good, Chad, right?
No more. This was the moment, the fast bond moment, because when Wapol the Worst fires away at his flag after he's told him, like, you know, you shouldn't even be allowed to touch this flag, blah, blah, blah. And then he fires away at it. Luffy is only just healed from climbing up the gazillion-foot drum mountain. And once again, he gets up onto the top of the castle and climbs up with his newly forged fingers and grabs on to the flag and refuses it. This flag shall not drop, and holds it. And boom, off goes the cannon. And Wapol feels like, you know, I've 100% killed this kid. Finally, this pain in the ass is dead. And then what's standing when the smoke clears? Luffy, holding the flag, refusing to let it go, because he knows not only how important the flag is to him and what being a pirate means to Luffy, but how important it is to Chopper. And he has this respect for Chopper. Well, he had this moment of absolute love for Chopper during the fight where he couldn't even move because his eyes were filled with stars and he was just so overwhelmed with how cool Chopper was. But it was in that moment that they had that awesome fast bond where you knew 100% Chopper is going with him. If we're going to be honest, I knew the second I saw Chopper's antlers.
But that's for Cork-board Corner.
But that's for Cork-board Corner. And so, you know, that's the bonding moment where now Chopper is like, I'm gonna follow this guy to the end of the earth, whether he knows it or not. In the part where you drew the picture of, he says, see, it's unbreakable. Oh, come on, Luffy. Dude.
I feel like Luffy's gonna be back in the top 5 this week, is my prediction.
Luffy, that moment, those words, his dark eyes, that was sweet. So it also helped me to see Luffy again and be like, oh, I see you, Luffy. You're killing it.
I mean, I think this arc was a lot about Luffy's growth. So I think it makes sense that he's winning you back over here.
Absolutely. But the moment that was even more special there is they have their little talk about the flag. I don't know who it belonged to, but this flag is a promise of life. You don't fly it lightly. It's not something to be laughed or shot at. And all that is whatever. But then you see down in the corner Chopper, and he goes, so this is a pirate. And then it goes back in time to him talking to the doctor who used to be a pirate and says, what is a pirate? And then he goes into all these memories while he's watching Luffy stand up for him when Luffy has no connection to him and no reason to. And he says, I'm going to clobber these guys. What are you going to do? And so he doesn't just do it for him, because Luffy is a remover of obstacles. And your illustrious wife said that after I said that the last time, she was thinking about how often they are self-inflicted obstacles. And then Luffy comes in and he shines a light on it, but he doesn't just undo it for somebody. He includes them, because you can't just take an obstacle away from someone. You have to help give them agency again, so they feel like they are powerful enough and capable enough to remove the obstacle with you. Because if you just remove someone's obstacle, they don't feel like they earned it or deserve it, and it's not going to change them. So Luffy lets people change themselves, and that's so powerful and so cool. Okay, so let's go back. I may or I may not have something, but it doesn't matter. Oh, I do have a little thing that I think is really kind of just beautiful.
Okay.
So when the doctor gets the thing he needs after your son sends you a video that sends you into tears and makes it so that your mood is now sentimental broken, the doctor's moment when he finally makes the thing that he meant to do and the snow falls and it's pink. The Japanese have a few different words for the way that the snow falls.
Mhm.
And one of them is kasahana. It's a Kazanahana, kasahana, and it means snow petals in the sun. And it's the idea that sometimes the snow takes on a look that's identical to the flowers of a sakura. And when it falls, it pulls one into spring while standing in winter. And so I just thought that this was a pretty cool moment that they decided to use. They didn't change the atmosphere like everyone might have been thinking they were going to. How are you going to have snow petals here? And we might have thought, oh, we're going to change the atmosphere and create an area where they could be. But instead, they used what they had. He used what was there already and then brought the snow petals in the only way that they could come. And I thought that was a really neat lesson.
I loved it. I love Dr. Hiroluke's goal so much. It's so beautiful. Okay, so are we ready for the corkboard?
Are we ready for the madness? That is.
I fucking lied, we're not. Because I told you a long time ago that as soon as we mentioned my second favorite character, as soon as they came up, as soon as we discussed them at all, I was going to make you try to figure out who my second favorite character is. So who introduced this week is my second favorite character in all of One Piece.
In all of One Piece?
In all of One Piece, my second favorite character has just been introduced. We have just discussed them for the first time today. Now we're filling out my top 5. Luffy, number 1, right? Number 3, Monkey D. Garp, spoiled by the anime, the live action, that's his name. Number 5, Miss All Sunday. But we don't know, I did the wrong fingers. We don't know who number 2 and 3 are.
Okay, is it Ace?
It is not Ace.
I hope it's not Mr. Crocodile Face. No, it can't be. We've already seen
we've
lots
talked about
of Mr.
Crocodile Face.
facing.
Fuck, we've already talked about Sir Crocodile. You got me.
Did you say Crocodile Face?
I maybe said Crocodile Face.
You know what that is? This is a glorious day, and that is my revenge for you sending me sad shows. Okay, so is chat guessing who it is too?
Chat is guessing too.
Okay, I can't see chat.
I have seen a few people get it correctly.
Not going to be Chopper?
It's not Tony. I've got terrible news about Chopper on my tier list.
Oh my god, if Chopper dies, I don't even know if I can do this.
No, on my tier list. Here's the thing. I love Chopper. I love all my Straw Hat
on
children.
Your crying list.
I love all my Straw Hat children. I have to have a least favorite Straw Hat child.
You're breaking my heart.
Look, you can't, one of them has to be at the bottom of the list, unfortunately.
I can barely look at you right now. All right. It's going to be number 2 then.
Sorry?
Is number 2 your number 2?
Mr. 2? A lot of people are guessing that. A lot of people are saying this. No, very, very popular character, but not my second favorite. He's in like probably my top 50.
Who else was just mentioned? Is it Blackbeard?
Oh, it's Blackbeard.
Blackbeard's your number 2.
My second favorite character in all of One Piece, who we together will do a video about once we've finished about 500 chapters.
Okay. Wow. That's a little surprising.
No, remember when I said you'd hate my second favorite character? You're gonna.
Oh. It would be like you to choose somebody who's absolutely unlikable as a second favorite character.
Totally. Look. Yes, I love him. I love Blackbeard. Fantastic character. Great character.
So tell me that you like
Blackbeard. Give me the
Blackbeard.
Zay-ha-has in chat. Yeah, give me the Zay-ha-has.
Do you like Blackbeard because you're just impressed with the character development?
Impressed with the character. I think they're well written. I think he's incredibly well written. Great vibes. Has some of my favorite scenes. And I can't say the phrase that I associate with Blackbeard the most because it'll kind of give away what role he plays in the series a bit too much. But I do want to do a video where we discuss Blackbeard together as like I want like a 2-hour conversation about this character where I go off about why he's amazing once we reach like 550 chapters.
I'll see you there. I'm not thrilled about your choice.
Look, I know Blackbeard's terrible, but also say ha ha ha.
I can't wait to find out why you like an evil person.
Yeah, no, chat, look forward to it. I have reasons. Don't worry. I'm going to give you the receipts when we get there. You'll know why I love Blackbeard, and at the end of it, you will too. But not right now. We can't. We're not there yet.
I can't believe you're claiming they're going to love Blackbeard.
Oh, everybody's going to love Blackbeard. That's my mission. A lot of people have a character they try to hype when they become a YouTuber where they're like, this is the one I'm trying to raise the stocks on. Blackbeard, top of that list.
Are we ready for Cork-board Corner?
We're ready for Cork-board Corner. It's Cork-board time.
And now for the madness that is Cork-board Corner.
All right, let's go.
So there was a couple of things that I was wondering right away. So because I think that there's kind of this Buddhist idea that shares India, shares it Japan, shares it China, this Buddhist idea of being a remover of obstacles. When you have in India, it's Ganesh, etc. 100% I'm here for Luffy is a remover of obstacles. And I don't think I said that last time, and I want that to just be out there.
Okay.
Then I started to think about, you know that it was two arcs ago I started to think about what does the D in Luffy mean?
Yeah, you did. And you thought dragon was the assumption.
I'm staying with that right now. I don't know if I'm right, but I went through a whole phase. I was like, okay, can it stand for demon? Can it stand for defense? Are they defenders? Are they... Demon seemed so, I don't know. There was something, demon seems wrong. And then I was like, could it stand for destiny? Because he removes, and then I was like, no, because some of the people who are in with him, I don't think that they could also be destiny chain. I don't know. Maybe they could, maybe they couldn't. Mm-hmm. But we're going to stick with dragon for now. Okay. So then I decided that they're family, they're dragons. We've got Monkey D. Luffy. I don't know what the beginning of Ace's name is, but I've decided Ace is definitely Luffy's family. I don't know if it's a brother or what we got going on.
All right.
Brother. That's possible. A brother is possible.
Are we gonna? Are you wanting to lock anything in? Are you wanting to put your foot on the pedal?
Give me 2 seconds.
If the pedal goes up, are you want to put your foot under the pedal? How does this? This expression is nonsense. I love it.
Yeah, no, I've thought about the fact the pedal goes up over and over again because really the pedal should go down. You don't take it off and you.
Here's what's great about the phrase. It's an expression. It's a phrase. It's a channel motto about committing to ideas, no matter how dumb they are. And it's a terrible phrase. It doesn't make any sense that I was committed to because I said that while talking about how I was creating a motto about committing.
It's actually could not be more perfect then.
Yeah.
I think Ace is, I don't know if he's a monkey, but he'll be D Ace. D will be there.
All
and
right.
It's Gold, and then it's Gold D Roger we found out, and then Monkey D Garp. So all of them are family. Those are Luffy's relations, 100%. And I think that the reason it's a D right now, and I was thinking about this for Dragon, we don't know the rest of Dragon's name.
No.
We don't know if he would have been a Monkey D something and his name would have been Dragon, but he's definitely related to Dragon. Or if it would be a Dragon D something, we don't know. But I think that the D is there because I like to think about this Japanese word, kotodama. There's mystical power in words and names. There's spirits in words, the kotodama, that words have a depth of meaning to them, especially if somebody says your name out loud. And so I wondered if I'm going to put this pedal goes up moment for the reason they just make it a initial is because there's power in their name. And so they only initial it. It's a Kotodama moment where they're like, no, we just initial our middle name. These are his family. Pedal goes up.
Okay. You are committing. His family includes Ace. His family includes Garp, which the live action spoiled. It includes Dragon. You think,
and it includes Blackbeard.
Not sure. And we're gonna add on Blackbeard to the D clan.
You heard me.
All right. You can add my main man Blackbeard onto the list of the D clan if you so choose.
It's interesting that you're talking about how there were 5 main people in our group, 6 now that we're leaving. So I look forward to finding out who Blackbeard adds to his crew and that they kind of parallel each other because I think they're within the same family. And then I'm wondering if they're going to be the antithesis of whatever it is that Luffy is doing. If as he's removing obstacles we put in place. So I'm going to do a corkboard prediction that obstacles are going to be put in place by Blackbeard. Oh, and I just want to point out that we did see Dragon's face in this time, and they talked about how he was a rebellion leader and how he was spreading information.
The specific word was a revolutionary.
He was a revolutionary, and he is spreading enlightenment to the people. So 100% get to still stick on that. And I want to say, like, is that a diamond star? Maybe not a diamond.
Here's where I'm at. If you had said symbolically he is an azure dragon, I would be already giving a gold star right now.
No.
You were insisting that he is literally the azure dragon. I think people actually forget about I forgot that dragon was mentioned in this arc. It's a flashback at a reverie where young Vivi met Wapol, and the person who's brought everyone to meeting is talking about how there's a revolutionary named Dragon. Only two things are said about him. It's that he's a revolutionary and that he's spreading his ideas to people around the world. The text exactly says, just verbatim, what she predicted last week, that Dragon would be the azure dragon, who specifically spreads enlightenment to the people of the world. If you had said symbolically, I think it is not a spoiler counter to just say that would be a gold star, because like the next time we talked, a flashback was like, hey, here's Dragon. He spreads ideas to people.
Exactly.
Professionally.
Exactly. Goldie Roger is still alive.
This is one that you've said that's interesting, and yeah, of course he's still alive.
No, don't do that thing. As long as
of course he's still alive, because when does a man die? A man dies when he's forgotten.
No.
Yeah, a man dies when he's forgotten, so he's still alive. We didn't forget him.
No, stop with your nonsense. The man is alive. It is because there's a few moments, like we got the moment. And I know the moment when Crocus, if I say moment one more time, I swear to God, when Crocus is talking directly to him, right? With Laboon. And I was like, and then you said, and I quote, yeah, there's Crocus talking to a dead man. How weird. And then when we have the witch sitting there and she says, oh, is that what he's known as now? I was like, interesting.
Dead people being known as things can be interesting if you knew them when you were alive. And you can talk to somebody you knew when they're dead. It
feels like he's had to change forms or be known as many things over time, because she's 139. So when she said that, and she was like, okay, is that what he's known as now? I was like, well, we're talking to a person who would have known him maybe in multiple forms. And this was the last one that she knew him as. And so it feels like this is her giving me a little spoiler alert.
So you believe Goldie Roger is reincarnating repeatedly?
Yeah. Oh, here's what she says. It's in One Piece 154, page 7 of 20. Is that what he's called now? Seems our reindeer will get more than he bargained for. And I was like, And then she goes over to the next page and she goes, so the will of D lives on. Killing me, lady. You're killing me. Because I when I started to dig into what the initial meant. But when you talk about the will of D, I don't think necessarily that Dragon is right, but I will figure it out.
I will say, if you figure it out, you've solved something that we've been trying to crack for a long time.
I did another thing because I was trying to look at how dragons are made. And then at the same time, I was trying to figure out, because Amaterasu, who is the goddess of the sun, she is the sun, she's an incarnate Amaterasu.
Okay, yeah.
What?
Amaterasu? Yeah. Amaterasu? I don't know. I played her in Smite. Great character. Loved her.
That's exactly how you should talk about people's deities.
Oh, God. I bought... Never mind. I'm not going to talk about the embarrassing Amaterasu skin I bought. I'm moving on.
So she is the mother of all things, and she's the epitome of the highest goddess, God, da-da-da-da-da-da. And her husband is the moon, who chases her around the sky. And then I was like, what are the origins of dragons? So I went into the thing, and there was a whole bunch of different ideas. There was one manga that talked about dragons being created out of the moon, a cracked egg, and dwindling down into the sky. So I had a thing with like, could there be a thing around that, and dragons existing out of the moon, and the moon watching or being the father of all of them. So if Luffy turns out to be a god, which is in my predictions, this pedal goes up, then his relatives would be the moon and the sun, because they are the father and mother of gods. And so now I'm starting to look at moon and sun lore. That will be a next arc moment.
In the next
for me.
arc, we'll start to look at the sun and moon a bit more. And you think that
but
Luffy
I told you
is
that
connected to the sun and the moon.
Yeah, but I told you that after I decided that Luffy was part of the Sun and Moon gods, then I went back because I said that there was a frame where I talked about how it looked like the moon was looking down on them in Whiskey. And it looked like there was a face, a building in front of the moon that made it look like a face looking down at them. But then when I was trying to find that one stupid moment, and I was trying to go back through the whole thing, I noticed that in that particular part of the arc, like every fourth panel had a moon in it. And then I was like, why so many moons? So then I went over to Little Garden and started looking through. It was daylight and they didn't show any suns, which was weird because I thought like, okay, if this is kind of a play on his beginnings, then why are there no suns? And then I went into another one. And as soon as there's a moon again, boom, it's here in on this island, on Drum Island, the moon is back. It's full now, which is cool because it does show the passage of time because I know approximately how much time has moved because of that. I don't know why yet because this is new. But on one of the pages, it has Ace walking away in this one frame. And it says, about a week ago, a traveler appeared in Robelu. Is it Robelu? It was a strange day. It didn't snow. And that was Ace. Impossible. It snows every single day without fail in Drum. So if Ace is coming there, it doesn't snow in the time that Ace is there.
Someone's pointing out it's that Ace is so drippy that he's just so hot it can't snow.
Because Ace is so hot?
Yeah. Did you see his drip? Did you see that coat?
You know what? They're not wrong. They're not wrong.
I want to quickly talk about, I want to make sure we get discussed this week that you made it clear you thought Chopper would join the second you saw he had antlers because you felt like we needed antlers. Can you explain why we needed antlers in the crew?
You have to have antlers. It's the Ryu dragon. So when I told you that you had to have a certain number of people on his... Yeah, thank you. On his crew, because the final... form of his crew altogether, if they were going to all make one larger dragon, would require antlers. And I kept thinking to myself, like, is somebody going to suddenly grow some antlers? Like, how are we getting the antlers in there? And then, boom, what appears but a chopper.
It does support your idea that the crew represents the 9 animals of Raijin a lot, that immediately after you mentioned that theory, an antlered character joins the team. We got a list of predictions. Now that we've talked through the thoughts around it.
Monkey has a powerful family that includes Dragon, Blackbeard, Ace, Goff.
Did you just call Garp Goff?
Oh, yeah, I did, but that's another reason. Sorry, Garp. I think those are all the people right now that I think are in his family. And then I want to predict that their initial D is initialized because it's a protected word, that words have power, and so they make it an initial. Goldie Roger is still alive.
Okay. And
Real
which
alive.
I say, yeah, of course he is.
The worst. Just the worst.
A man only dies when he's forgotten. He's of course he's alive.
Once again, I ask, who raised you? I am going to also agree with you in a prediction, the same what I said, that I think that the Blackbeards are going to mimic Luffy's crew. They're going to gather crew at the same pace as Luffy's crew is, that they are creating a alternate, ultimate powerful. Oh my God, I have to look that up.
If there's
I have
like
to
an
look
evil illusion.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look that up now. I got to make a note on that. Oh my God, it's in the treasure box.
All right.
And that they are going to have a crew similar to Luffy's or identical to Luffy's on the evil side because all things come in balance.
Okay.
And then let's give Ace, you know what, let's just put it out there and give Ace some kind of power that later on I'm going to come back to. Pedal goes up for now, but later on Ace.
You are going to find out the answer to this so quickly. So if you're right or wrong, you're going to find out very fast. I'll put the not spoiler counter for that one, but it's so soon.
I wanted some time to think about that because I just don't know what's going on with this kid.
All right, you could just not guess, and you'll find out, like, for our next convo.
Kind of hate that, too. Okay, Ace has some ability around him to control moisture. Ace has some sort of water control.
All right, we're giving Ace water control. Ace has water control.
You know what? I'm comfortable with that going away and being wrong, but that is what it is.
You'll get a purple mushroom.
A purple mushroom? Good.
You remember? Okay.
I'm gonna eat that purple mushroom up. I had that moment that I thought the moon was looking at him, and I was like, did they ever do a sun moment like that? And I kind of tried to look. I can't find anything with a sun in it, so I'm going to go no. But when I went back to see that, it was moon, 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 moon everywhere. Great for the passage of time. I understand that, but I think there's more to it. So that's all I have so far for that. That's all I can tell you.
Okay, so the moon will be significant, is on the board.
Also, there's going to be a land of little people.
A land? Okay. Why are we saying that?
Because people were apparently right miffed that I didn't notice that Usopp talked about the big giant fish. And then when I went back and I was like, oh yeah, he did actually say that. Then he talks about a land of little people. So now I'm going to go scour the rest of that area and find out what else he says. I just want to let you know, people, we all know that I don't put that much focus on Usopp.
As noted by you didn't notice the goldfish until I told you between streams.
The little pills of my good friend Chopper are going to become a very important thing. I also wonder if those are going to help Luffy and the crew to find their other levels of their talents.
Someone had a question to add to the prediction corner. They want you to predict what kind of person will join the Straw Hats next now that they have a doctor.
Okay, so I was thinking about this, but not enough, because I just kind of started to think at the end, like, okay, we got our doctor, and that one was kind of obvious. We had a lot of hints and stuff. We do have one little hint here of something that we need.
What's that?
Ships take damage.
So you're thinking a shipwright.
They have strength, and there was something else I was thinking. You have a doctor, you have somebody who can feed you. You don't have anyone who can... No, that's later. Let's go shipwright.
Is the favorite fruit list the same, or has the Munch Munch bison or human fruit taken the place of one of them?
So my favorite fruit is still the fruit of Miss All Sunday.
What is it this week? What has she got?
Oh, I could do it in an interesting way, but I think it's going to be some sort of psychic power. I just want to point out, I might have met Crocodile Face all the way, and he literally says, and I think I even snapped a photo of it, call me what you want. And you know what I say to that? I will, Mr. Crocodile Face. Yeah, that's exactly what I'll do. I'll call you exactly what I want to call you.
So immediately when he's introduced here and you finally see him, his first thing he says is, call me what you want. Fucking hell.
Almost.
Shit. I forgot that. You're just going to commit to Crocodile Face, huh?
Okay, so what was my number 2 last week?
It's
still rubber. People underestimate slip because getting to get away from things and have things slip around you is awesome. I'm going to move slip to 4, and I'm going to put 3 is the kilo, and then I'm going to put vice. And then, yeah, kilo just gets cooler and cooler the more you think about it, honestly. It might one day take Luffy down a peg. And then I think the 5th is the bison.
All right. 5th is bison. Turning into a bison is number 5 now.
It's pretty cool.
All right. I think we close out with your favorite characters this week. Who
it's Chopper.
in Drum Island is the
Chopper.
MVP? Anthony Helicopter gets the number 1 spot of the week.
He's the greatest. All-time hero. You know what? Luffy's number 2.
Hell yeah, I think he deserves it this week. I think Luffy had a stunning performance.
Honestly, if it wasn't for Chopper, Luffy would have been number 1 this week. But come on. Number 3 is the nice young witch. Correa is an amazing character.
Can I propose a character to you that you talked up earlier that I think you might forget if I don't bring them up?
Okay.
Vivi.
Yeah, you don't even have to worry. Vivi is number 4. She could have been number 3. The only reason Correa wins out is because I don't think we're going to see her for a while if we see her again.
Fair.
Dalton is number 5.
Fair. Dalton's a great leader. He cares a lot about his people. He was willing to betray Wapol for the betterment of the island. I think he's a really solid guy.
I think he really showed the crew things. That's why, for me, like, all the other stuff is super important for the island of Drum. Mm-hmm. But I'm thinking about it for the long term for our story with our straw hats. Okay.
All right.
Well,
but yeah, this is exciting. You're about to head into your first climactic arc, the first arc that ends a saga. I'm so excited. You get to end the first saga of the Grand Line.
How do you know when a saga is done?
Well, I mean, right now, everything since we entered the Grand Lines and working up to Crocodile. So dealing with Crocodile is the end of a saga.
Is saga 1. Okay, that's what I was curious. Oh, I'm super excited. I hope I get a platinum star.
At some point, I will say, you said like fucking 9 or 10 things that would be worth a diamond star if they were true. Add to the non-spoiler counter, you will in the future at some point get at least 1 diamond star.
I'm going to tell you right now, if I get any mushrooms, I'm just going to make an omelet out of them and I'm going to eat those babies up.
All right.
Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. Once again, this has been awesome. Can I just tell you, that picture, look at that picture.
Thank you. I'm going to take a while to get the composition to not look atrocious, but I think I got it pretty balanced at this point.
You absolutely did, and you totally captured that sweet moment when Luffy was like, I am the stopping point right here. It's me. Yeah, stunning.
All right. Thanks everybody so much for being here. This is so much fun. I've been loving doing this so goddamn much. I love One Piece. I love talking to you. I love having everybody here, and I am so thrilled for you to call me when you get to 178 and make the noise that I know you're gonna make, which is like, ah!
I am too.
People are saying thanks to us. Oh, you guys are great. I love this. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everyone. I can't tell you how much fun this is. Every single time I think I'm talking into the void, I remember that we're here on a journey with you, and it just fills my heart.
Goodbye, everybody. And until next week, when we talk about either half of Alabasta or all of it, we'll see. It's been lovely talking to you. Oh my god, I'm looking at the year list of predictions. It's so long. Okay, don't look in the notes channel. We've done 5 discussions. How many predictions do you think you have?
23?
33.
Oh my god. I was guessing high.
It turns out you weren't.